AskReddit by Trickster 123. Boys, be completely honest, what makes a girl go from a 10/10 to a 1/10 instantly? Was on a first date once with what seemed like a sweet girl, and she then bragged to me how she and her best friend would go to clubs and hit on ugly guys to lead them on, then laugh at them for thinking they had a chance. She was actually proud of this. Wow, never expected this to be one of my most upvoted comments ever. I'm sad to say, I had a great opportunity to just up and leave about 5 minutes later when she went to the restroom, but I didn't pull the trigger. 10 years later I still regret that. I doubt she would have even made the connection to her comment though. That's when you say funny, you should say that, then start pointing and laughing at her as you walk away. Constantly complaining about anything and everything. There has to be something you enjoy. That or never taking responsibility for your own faults and always having to blame someone or something else. Edit. Hopefully my original comment didn't sound like this is exclusive to women. Anyone can exhibit this behavior regardless of gender or sex. Just as a male who is attracted to women, this has been my experience for trays that can drop a woman from a 10 to a 1. I recently just cut a friend off for this. He's seen me in therapy for the last several years, so he comes to me to complain, not advice. I told him he needs to shift his perspective, and he had the audacity to tell me how I don't know how impossible that is for him. I can't stand people who just want to bitch about their deal of cards and do absolutely nothing to try better themselves. I've never felt better not having that constant negativity. Edit. Not sure how this has been interpreted by a couple people as me being his therapist. Lol, I am in therapy. He was a friend. My last boyfriend did this. My last boyfriend did that. Well shit, go back to your last boyfriend then. For real. And I find these to be the same sort of people who can't handle the fact that you ever had a life before them. I dated someone for a year who was constantly comparing everything I did to her ex, in both good and bad situations. I love you. You're so great. You're way better than X. You're acting like X right now. Thank you for doing this for me. X never would have done this, but God forbid I ever brought my past dating life into a conversation, even if it was completely relevant. She'd blow up and then act coldly to me for the rest of the night. Being mean to animals. Exactly. You do not fuck with Bip the cat. He's our bro. Deleted. Lol. I had this friend in college who brought around his new GF. I complimented her boots and asked where she got them, trying to be nice, you know. Bitch straight up refused to tell me. LMAO, like I was gonna run out and go buy them. And even if I did, who cares? Disliked her immediately. BC, it was so stupid. Mine is the same as another earlier comment. Had been seeing a smoking hot woman. Looked like a Robert Palmer girl. Then she kicked my cat. What was funny was Bip the cat then stalked and attacked her by leaping from a chair and latching onto her arm. You didn't fuck with Bip the cat. He was my bro. Edit. We all know the gold is for Bip. Thanks everyone. It's always good to remember my little buddy. One of the best parts about animals is that they don't know who's hot, so they don't discriminate. Lack of empathy for others. If they think they are better than a server or valet, etc., they are trash. 1. Physical violence. 2. Infidelity. 3. Heroin. 4. Scientology. 5. Needless cruelty. Scientology. Treating restaurant staff badly. Dishonesty. Manipulative behavior. Edit. Wow, thanks everyone. My first 10k post. All I did was describe my ex. Lol. I was seeing someone much more attractive than anyone I've dated before. She was pretty chill and interesting. On our third date, we went to my favorite restaurant, and she was rude to the staff. I was so embarrassed that not only did I break up with her, I went back to the restaurant afterwards to apologize. Service work sucks enough without someone being awful. I'm a little mad and embarrassed now, a year later, thinking about that awful date. Hygiene. I find it hard to believe someone with bad hygiene would even rate 10 to begin with. They had to do a TikTok dance in the middle of a busy public area. I've never experienced this in real life, but even seeing it on video is physically painful. The second this starts, I would be running away while simultaneously pulling the SIM out of my phone and breaking it. I'm headed to the airport to leave town, taking no risks on having to communicate with this person ever again. Elitist attitude toward others. Being absolute rude to staff or waitress at a restaurant. No hobbies. I don't want someone who wants me to entertain them. I want someone who has their own life and their own friends and doesn't feel abandoned if I want to spend time on my own or going out with my own friends. I want someone I can be alone with where we each do our own thing but are within reach of each other. I was in love with a girl when I was a teen. I was smitten. She was a 10/10. She had a cat. One day it made her mad and she grabbed the cat and hurled it against the wall. I instantly despised her from there on out. Since she lived close, I also stole said cat a few weeks later. She didn't deserve Muffin. I renamed him afterward. I don't think she ever noticed. I didn't talk to her anymore. I love that you saved the cat. For me, more like one word response or show no interest in the conversation. I can carry so much, but can't engage if she doesn't put some effort. Rude, arrogant, selfish, entitled, and general unwillingness to admit faults and work to fix them. I think that's pretty much an instant turn off for most, regardless of the gender. Yeah, I'm really glad that I don't have any faults that need fixing. Had a date a few weeks ago. We agreed to meet at a local restaurant that has 2 locations. She wanted to go to the one closer to the highway. To be fair, I was about 3 or 4 minutes late, but I walked in and she wasn't there. She actually went to the wrong one, but she got mad at me for it. I attempted to salvage the date and we agreed to order takeout and meet at her place. The address she gave me was wrong. She lived at Street Place and the address she told me was Street Drive, which are about 15 minutes away from each other. She's messaging me about how impatient she's getting the whole time I'm trying to decipher where I'm supposed to go. I don't text and drive, and she got upset I wasn't responding to her. 1. Gets upset with you for their mistake. 2. Gets upset with you for their mistake again. 3. Gets mad that you aren't endangering yourself and others by texting and driving. That's a lot of flags. Being my ex-wife. She is still hot, but mostly intolerable. Thanks. I'm working on my tolerability. Being rude to service people or old people. Being rude to anyone, really. Standing up for yourself is one thing, but being rude is quite another. She could be the hottest and nerdiest woman around, but the moment she makes fun of my stammer would instantly be a major turn off. I mean, yeah, making fun of people's shortcomings, disabilities etc. is deal breaker territory. Girls that are obsessed with social media and can't live in the moment. Thinking that being rude is cute for whatever reason. Girls who think using an Android phone is a deal breaker. I never got that entire Android vs Apple thing. Saying really mean shit about people they just hung out with. When they turn into a half human half wolf abomination under the full moon. This is actually a preference 10/10, please werewolf on me. Inability to be accountable or apologize. Being rude to service industry folks. No self-awareness. Generally being a spoiled or narcissistic person. Disrespect or dishonesty. Her only personality trait is that she's a 10/10. I was on a date with this girl and she got drunk and started saying some of the most racist and nasty things. Instant 100/10. I read instant 100/10 and I was like, hold up.